Last time, we spoke about the journey, where it all started, the grind, the experience, the lessons from 25 years in the kitchen. But today, we're switching it up a little. Because if you've been in this industry long enough, you know there's a version of chefs you see in public, and there's a version of chefs you see behind closed doors. You got chefs with big ideas, but no follow through. Chefs chasing attention while trying to stay relevant. And now, you've got AI stepping into the conversation, social media becoming a second job, and everyone trying to figure out exactly what matters anymore. So in this episode, it'll be a little bit more unfiltered. We're going to be talking about the stuff that doesn't always get said out loud, but we're thinking it. And knowing my guest today, Chef Brent, we're probably going to laugh a little along the way. My name is Chef Ismael, and this is part 2 with Chef Brent, and this is Chef Ismael's Kitchen Quest. Chef, how you doing?
I'm lovely, man. How you doing, sir?
Good, good. Quick question.
Let's have
Did
it.
you put on that chef coat? Because I'm wearing the
Yeah,
chef coat.
that's correct. Yes. No, I was trying to figure out what I was going to wear, and I was like, I can promote myself, or I can wear one of my other stuff, or something silly. I was like, wait a second, hold on. And if you don't mind, I'm going to ask you if you don't mind when we promote this. I think it'd be awesome if you take a picture of where you're sitting, and I can green screen that, and I can do the part where you would do it. I was, but I won't. I'll do me. I'll talk about how I'm going doing your show, and then you send me some music that you do, and I can do. I can do what you would do. Yes, yes, sir. I was like, why am I going to
Uh,
promote myself and wear a shirt of myself and do something else? I'm like, no, hold on. No, Wu Tang can wait, but other shirts can wait. Let me just, yeah. So yes, and it was clean. It was most first of all, it was clean. So yeah.
okay. um. Yeah. No. You had a perfect impersonation of me on Andre's show.
It wasn't long enough. I thought it was I thought I did some other stuff, but I guess I didn't. But no, I could have. Yes, no, yes.
No, I was impressed. I was like, man, that's a little too good. Uh,
It was no, it wasn't even that. It was just it was like what 2 seconds. I didn't even go on. But if I went on with your blessing, yes, we'll have some fun with it. Yes.
yeah. No, I'm what do you call it? I like making fun of myself at times too. So there was no I guess I didn't take to offense at all whatsoever. I thought it was funny, and my son listened to it and he was like, "That is you," you know. So that was funny. Um, yeah, man, awesome. Well, chef, I mean, what's been new since the last time we spoke?
The job I work at now is falling apart. It's really, really bad. Um, by the time this airs, I could be gone. So no, but yeah, it's where I'm. The people I trusted to do the right thing. Nah, man, hold on. Let me try that again. Yeah, it's just I don't know. Just jobs. I may have to figure something out. Figure something else out pretty quick. Um, but at the same time, me and some other people are trying to build something. We have a. It's a the idea of a restaurant group, but we're going to start off with one restaurant and then be smart along the way. And but everything's a process, So there's sometimes I can bump into somebody with 40 million liquid, and our brain immediately like goes like, "Oh man, we could open a restaurant in 2 months." It's like, nah, that's probably not best, Like,
Mm.
still take your time to understand it, dude. A restaurant is a whole. It's a business. Like when you're at home cooking for your uncle, your loud uncle, that's one thing. He's like, "Oh man, you're the best in the world." Yeah, thank you, uncle. That's one thing. But when you know, open up a restaurant, in a city with other restaurants, you have to switch it to like, okay, well, I need to be competitive. I need to be smart. I want to make sure I don't provide a toxic environment. Even though I need bodies really, really bad, I can't hire anybody. I got to make sure uh the guys that are egotistical and like to brag, I gotta, if I need these guys that bad, I gotta tell them to chill. Like, hey, look, you can't be doing that here. Like, and if you can't change, if these people um can't change their ways, they can't bite their tongue, you don't hire them. So sometimes we get a restaurant, we just throw a bunch of um people all together. It's like, oh, I gotta have a solid team. No, no, no. In your mind, they're a solid team. Do they even get along with each other? Like we're watching Avengers, the very first movie, and the next thing you know, these guys are fighting. I was like, wait a second, why are heroes fighting each other? But in real life, that's what happens. People fight each other. You have Macho Man versus Hulk. Yeah, well, no, Macho. Yeah, no, Hulk. Yeah, it was Macho Man versus Ultimate Warrior, and then they was always going at each other. And then there's a few times where they linked up, and they're like the ultimate maniacs, yeah, you know. And I was like, my goodness, where did this come about? Because Ultimate Warrior changed his whole. They were borrowing each other's swags and stuff. I mean, granted, it's scripted. I thought it was real when I was a kid. I don't know how to get their money I was like, how does that get paid? But like, it was scripted. But the idea that people can link up and I don't know, man. So yeah, that's just where I'm at now. I just want to make sure that we do things correctly and the right way. It's a process too, man. Like I can't. If I want to get an apple right now, we're in a world where if I want an apple right now, all I have to do walk across the street to the store, buy an apple, come home, and I can make all the pie. If I want to make pie, flour, all I got to do is go buy a bag of flour. But like if I want to make an apple pie from start to finish, from scratch, that's years, because it takes what, 2 to 10, 8 to 7, 7 to 8, whatever it is, years to get an apple, to get an apple tree. That means I have to get the seed, find the land, soil, make sure it's planted correctly. Then you have to sit there and wait and make sure the ground is on point. Make sure you're doing your part, and then it's going to start to grow. Dude, you're looking at, just to get an apple tree, that's years. And then you have to finally get the apple. All right, cool. Here's the apple. And then, it's like you wait for years just to get one apple. And then when you get the apple, how am I going to, you have a certain window to when an apple's going to be around. So it's like this whole thing, it's a process. It's not supposed to be overnight. It's not supposed to be cool. I met a guy with 80 million. He's a old billionaire that loves food. He loves me. So we're going to open up a restaurant tomorrow. No, make sure your team is straight. Make sure people do that to themselves, over the restaurant, over the guilt, and over the awards and press and the negative comments. People age really, really quickly in restaurants. So it's like, it's not a joke. Even though these commercials on TV make it look like it's all, it's animated and it's exciting, and everyone's like, yeah, I want to be open up a restaurant. It looks cool. Stop. Don't get me wrong. Yes, that's why I'm still doing it. I want to do it, but understand it ain't for everybody. You're better off opening up if that's not for you, you're better off opening up a 15-seat taco spot where maybe there's some seats outside, maybe there's like 2 tables inside, and those restaurants do very, very well too. So it ain't all about the marble floor and the elevators and $80,000 countertop. You know how much food you have to sell? That stupid countertop, $800 seats. Oh, this is a beautiful restaurant and the food's trash. Like, it's just it's off. There's a lot of things that's off. There's a lot of beautiful things about restaurants, period. But when that foundation's not on point, if you didn't take time to nurture then it's probably not gonna be around too long. But if you're doing the right thing in the beginning, it should hold you down. And don't know where that came from. Sorry, I don't know what was the question. Sorry about that. You said something. What did you say? What was no? I guess I just did a derivative of what I was saying. But yeah, man, that's what I'm up to, man. I'm just trying to. Hopefully, we get a restaurant crew together and we can do open up a restaurant or two with some good like-minded people, and the people I want to do it with, I've known them for almost a decade. So um, the money guy I just met, but we connect well. And there's another gentleman that I met that we all kind of met late, but he seemed like he's like-minded. So it just seemed like so far it's looking good, but that's just the core of the people. So we have to see what the rest of it's like, and I don't know, make sure the dining room, the front, say front of the house, but the dining room team and the kitchen, make sure we're just like-minded, man. Like, just are we cooking for the right reasons? Are we doing this for the right reasons? Do we watch too much Saturday Morning Wonderland? There's a lot of people. It's not funny. It's not funny, but there's one lady. It's not. If I laugh, man, it's not because it's not funny. It's nowhere near funny. But there's this lady. It's not funny, but this lady, they opened up a restaurant, and the very first thing out of her mouth was like, "Oh yeah, we have a restaurant, so now we can start doing some outreach programs." Like, it's yes, but no. Hold on. Like, there's a lot of fairy tale things. We're gonna have family meal every day, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna. All right. Sometimes the budget's not cut out for family meal. It's better you tell your crew, hey, make sure you take a good protein shake before you get here. The food here is not for y'all. If y'all want to bring some food outside of work and bring it in to cook, you can use the facility, you can use the equipment, but all that, we're gonna have breakfast, and then we're gonna have lunch and dinner, and then these family meals, and with the restaurant's money, that it's a standalone restaurant. It isn't like it's a hotel. It's not a country club. Like the food pays the bills. So we're going to have outreach programs, and we're going to have family meal 2 times a day. Like just maybe that's not best at first. Like just calm down, relax. Maybe one day you get there, but in the beginning, hold on, chill, turn the TV off, stop watching Saturday Morning Wonderland, and you can be realistic with your expectations and stuff. I don't know.
So we're talking about starting a restaurant group, and you mentioned you have a small, um, I guess I don't want to call it a following, but a small idea of people who
Mm-hmm.
are going to do this and try to make this happen. Now, when I guess for me personally, it's hard because yes, we can all come up with ideas and our goals when it comes down to opening up a restaurant. But when it really starts to happen, and it's really time to start putting where your money where your mouth is at, it's scary, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so how do you plan on, I guess, or how do you go about trying to move forward and having the courage to start a restaurant group and then opening up your own restaurant, knowing the risks?
Yeah, at the end of the day, man. Like I believe in it. All my answers come back down to God, man. So, um, God, in the Bible it talks about um, pray for wisdom and He'll give it to you, and 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 pray and be devoted to prayer. And this is the creator. This is the one that created people that I plan on doing business with. This is the one I'm praying to, the same one that created the food we plan on cooking. So it all comes down to God first. And so when we say keep God first, it's not because Denzel Washington said it, it's because it's a legit thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to, and so these are in the Bible says, if you put me first, acknowledge me in all your ways, I'll give you the desires of your heart. So if my desire is to, and God gave me a skill set to cook. So it's like, God, that's what I want to do. Please, give me the tools, the people, and such like that. And then there's faith and stuff. So, man, I don't know, man. Just pray about it and count the cost. There's a Bible. There's a whole. I think it's in Luke. I feel like a heathen now. I think it's in Luke, but it talks about like counting the cost. Like, don't just there's two illustrations. One was don't go into battle if you only have 100 people and these guys got 10,000 people. Like, that's not going to count the cost. Like, don't say, yeah, we'll take you on. We're going to win the war. Stop. You already lost. Your stupidity lost your battle already. You're done. You even put the armor on yet. You're going to lose. It's 100 of you guys, and it's not a movie. It's like 300. That was fine, but that was a movie. In real life, count the cost. Think about what you're about to do. Think about what you're saying. Words have power, and and the same thing. The main one about that scripture was the other illustration. It was talking about how you know you're going to try to build this home, build this house, or build something, but you don't even have enough materials to finish it. So then, like, you have a foundation. You only have enough material to get you so far. Then you can't complete your project. You can't complete what you tried to build. Then you play yourself, and then people will walk by and just like, yo, what's this about? Oh, some guy tried to build a restaurant. Look at this. Ah, how many times have you seen on Eater and in like your local news where a chef bragged about a restaurant opening up next month and it never happened? It happens all the time, too many times. I've lost count how many times that happens. Same thing with these rappers. This rapper, it's rappers, it's models, it's man, there's so many people where we haven't seen them in years. And then some interview dude gets a microphone and says, "Hey, sir, what would you like to do with your? Are you having an album? What are you doing?" Okay, hold on, wrong illustration. Let me get a. Okay, there's a microphone somewhere. Never mind, sir. What would you, sir? What would you like to do for what's next for you? Are you doing something? What are you doing? And whatever. And it's producers, it's rappers, it's singers. They all say the same thing. Oh, I'm working on an album right now, and I have a record company coming up. I'm be on the lookout for it. And I have this, I have that, I have this. These are celebrities. I'm not celebrating them, but these are people on television. They have all the success. They disappear for 3 years. They feel like they got to start lying about them doing something. They want to feel like that. Like, look at me, I'm active. I'm like, you don't have to chill. Like, don't. I don't understand. Like, just feel free to be honest because the truth is going to come out. There's one guy said he's working on an album. There was a whole bunch of them, but one guy said he's a rapper, well-respected rapper. He got in an interview. I guess they decided, hey, man, I guess he wasn't doing that. Hey, you want to be on our show? He's like, yeah. So he gets on the show, and then they asked him, are you working on anything as he's closing out? Are you working on anything? And he goes like, yeah, I got an album coming out, and it's coming out pretty soon, and you'll love it. I'm still that was and I'm not over exaggerating. That was 2000. That was 2008. I'm still waiting for that album to come out. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't have nothing going on, it's okay to be honest. People asking me like, hey man, when's that restaurant coming out? Pretty soon. No, stop. It's not pretty soon. You don't have the investors, you don't have the keys, you don't have location, you don't have the concept. And we're in a world now where we want to have something going on. I want my peers to be proud of me. Stop. Because if you start making up stuff, now I'm really going to be disappointed as your peer, as your brother. It's just cool to say, dude, I don't know yet. I'm in between jobs. I may change my career. I may just, work at a retail spot and just do some pop-ups or do some catering. I love those responses. But all that, I may go work with such and such. He has a Michelin star in New York and he likes me. So I may go up there and give it a shot and move to New York. Dude, you're not a New York type of person. It's okay to say, dude, I'm staying right here. Tell me you're going to go to Rhode Island. That's more, Rhode Island has my heart anyway because of Dumb and Dumber. So people say, I'm going to Rhode Island. I was like, yes. Go to I got Worms pop up. That'd be dope.
So do you think those are due to a lack of opportunity, or do you think it's just a lack of discipline?
Real quick, if you're enjoying this conversation and you want more behind the scenes stories of the hospitality industry, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It's free, it'll help us grow, and trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming up next. Now back to the conversation.
Sometimes I guess all the above, really, because sometimes people don't have the opportunity. People don't have the discipline to create the opportunity. Some people want the opportunity to fall in their lap. Some people ain't got God in their life, and some people have Satan in their life, and then there's that, and they think that this one thing over here is a blessing, but it's totally against what God likes. So it's a curse. Your foundation is something negative. But no, sometimes you can have all the discipline in the world, and sometimes the opportunity comes years later, and people have the opportunity and they'll still fumble it. So I don't know, man. Like, everybody's different. Every situation's different. I don't know.
Yeah, I like how you said that people don't have the discipline to create the opportunity. And I think it's extremely important that we continue to work towards our goals, and that, of course, takes discipline, whether it's discipline in your craft, discipline in making I guess, growing yourself personally. And then in your case, you use the Bible to grow yourself. Now, why do you think that there are, I guess, not just in the chef community, but just in general, because you even gave examples about the rap community and so forth. But why do you think people, some people talk big, dream big, but then disappear when it's time to actually execute the project?
There's an old saying, a pair of lips will say anything. And we're in a world where, man, competition, man, my goodness. Like, I want people, I'm mature now. And then, dude, I'm mature then. Like, I never had this problem. I really never had this problem, but man, social media is a beautiful, beautiful thing. It is a beautiful tool. We see so much people doing well and smiling on camera, and we see so many people happy, and there's 24 hours in a day. So you have Gregory and Veronica. They took a picture of their newborn baby and their house in the background, and their grass is literally green and whatever. And everyone was like, man, like, wow, they got their stuff together. No, it's 24 hours in a day. They just captured a couple of seconds. And so sometimes chefs, they just capture a couple of seconds of what they did that day, and what they're whatever. So we're just a competition. Like, man, I want to be able to have something going for myself. I want people to like, I want to make people proud of me. Everything from being proud, everything from, dude, I'm right there with you. I'm successful too. We start looking at everyone's colorful pictures, and we want to put a colorful thing out ourselves. And yeah, it's just the world that we live in, man. With what we see on television and thinking that everything is real. You have the same chefs buying followers and same chefs buying subscriptions, so they can come off to look a certain type of way. I know a dude, right? I know a guy that bought. Man, let's see here. It's like it's 100 and something thousand followers. Took a picture of his kids and only got 30 people, 30 views. I was like, oops, uh-oh. You're just like, I was like, man, no one knows you like that. Like, why do you have 100,000, 200,000? Some people, it's way up there. For the right amount of money, you can pay for that. And then people just want people to feel proud. Like, look, guys, look at me. I got it going on, and they can take those followers that they purchased and send it to Home Depot and say, hey, I would love to do a video with you guys. And Home Depot, at one point, they would believe it. It's like, yeah, we'll pay you for, do something with this or a product, and we'll, for do 5 videos, we'll pay you $300 a piece. All because they looked at the dude's following and look how colorful someone's pictures was in the thumbnails, right? Thumbnails, and you look at these things like, oh man, this guy really got it going. Let's do business with him. So yeah, we would have a different culture. We would have a different profession and people would move differently if there was no social media period whatsoever, or if we had it and you couldn't, if they just took away the numbers where you didn't know who was following who, that would be different. Yeah, we would all move differently. But at the same time, like, it's a good look. It looks cool when I go to per se or something and I ask if Thomas Keller is there and kind of take a picture in the kitchen. All I'm going to do is just like, hey guys, look what I did. I mean, it's for our personal record too, but social media can see this too. I want other chefs to know that, like, yes, I move around, I get out the house, I like high end food, I have taste, and then I don't know, I do a lot of that too. I take a bunch of pictures of with chefs because this is Comic-Con to me. To me, it literally is. When I see a bunch of chefs all together one spot, I usually nerd out, because I love food and I love our profession, and I like what he or she is doing. And Chris Cosentino is one of them. He's somebody I really take a liking to. So when I first saw him, man, it was crazy. I was in Portland. I went to my room and put my stuff up. I think it was I think it was called the Beast Festival, or it was something like that. I put my stuff in my elevator. I get into the elevator. Excuse me. I put my stuff in my room. Get into the elevator. It goes down. Boop, it opens up, and it's like another gentleman I never noticed, but it was like Chris Cosentino and Sam Mason was just right there talking to each other about the menu and what Sam was going to do. And I was like, and I didn't know these guys were on the card. I think I knew Cosentino was going to be. I don't know what I thought, to be honest with you, because I just don't. Because I remember being totally shocked that two of these guys that I've seen all of their work was right in front of me. I totally nerded out. It was bad. It was bad. It was really bad. Yeah, I said, Cosentino, good to meet you. Oh man, it was bad. It was bad because as a 6 foot, 270 something pound at the time, black man, and I see this guy like, ah! I was, and I was like, did I just do that? Because I was looking at Sam Mason stuff all of the time. And so anyway, I don't know. I don't know. I'm a nerd of I love what we do, man. I think it's kind of cool. I look at people's play presentations so it can make me better, not to hate. Some of that stuff on TV we see is like, what on earth is this crap? And we just send it to all of our friends, like, yo, you see this? He said that brisket was tender. No, it's not. Look, we all laugh and stuff. And then some people are like, yo, how did he make it that? That's what we do. But if we didn't have social media, and if we didn't have competition shows and winners and all that kind of stuff and awards, if we didn't have those things, the whole industry, our profession would move a little bit differently. So we compare a lot. We want people to be proud of us, and
Yeah,
we don't
no.
want to look like a deadbeat. That's the main thing. Yeah, we don't look like we ain't got nothing going on for ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, social media, it definitely does have its ups and downs. Because and I think we've seen this way too often where we capture seconds of our day and it looks like it's a perfect world, but then at the end of the day, who knows what's going on behind the camera when it's not rolling. And so do you think, how do I say this? Do you, well, let me ask you this. Where do you think the line between documenting your journey and creating a character starts to get blurred, or do you, yeah, I guess that's what I'm trying to ask is exactly, because there's a lot of social media influencers who just build a character and then and they're not authentic to themselves, and
Yeah,
specific example, I met a social media influencer.
sorry to
I've
hear that.
actually met a few,
Mhm.
and some of I want to say the majority of them were pretty cool. The other, I guess, very, very few of them, they weren't who they portrayed to be on camera. And it
Right.
just left a disgusting, not a
Yeah.
disgusting, it just left a bad taste in my mouth.
Uh huh. Yeah. Say where it gets blurred. First of all, why are we creating characters like this? Look, understand something. My friends I've worked with for years, they don't even look at my. A lot of them don't even look at my posts, don't share my videos, don't even comment on my stuff because they've heard this for years. They've heard all my everything that I've been doing on social media these days. They've heard it. They've been through it, and I think I'm being muted. I think my coworkers, they love me to death. I love them. I think I've been muted. This is it. I'm not. There's no character. There's no. I don't have a slogan. I don't have a catchphrase. I mean, I have a couple of them, but when I do my videos, I don't. Begin it with this weird thing and this loud yell and close it with a slogan. And I don't. I mean, I'm not saying it's not good. Knock stuff out, but I ain't no character. This is it. I actually cook with. No, I don't. First of all, this is not baby. I mean, dude, it's cooking oil. Look at the color. You know what I'm saying? Like I took it, I cleaned it out, I put, I'm legit silly. And the next pop-up dinner I do have, or next guest chef, whatever, I'm bringing this. Why? I personally think it's funny. When I put the fire, dude, I've done videos where I'm doing cartouches and stuff like that. There's no battery inside it, and I'll still edit it in to where it's, I thought it was funny. So I'm silly in real life. But at the same time, I like to think, and I'm serious too. There's a balance. So yeah, there's a lot of people that okay, cool. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna shoot my shot. Brent said to shoot my shot, so I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And they feel like they have to do a bunch of animated, be animated. There's a bunch of sound. There's a bunch of laughing for no reason in the camera, and just being extra. And it's not them. And I was like, that's sad for that not to be you. And the problem I have with people is, there's a few stuck up chefs that have Michelin stars next to their page, next their Michelin whatever. My goodness, oh, the worst people in the world. It's like not all of them are like this. A lot of those guys are genuinely nice and they literally love our profession. And then some of them, we both know people that like work for people, or we work for these people ourselves, where we've seen like, yo, that person's not this way, and this person's actually the opposite. And he or she got on camera and they started, saying all this, you know, um, loving stuff about their cuisine and um, being there for each other and upholding the community and letting their brother shine and food and telling their stories, and they don't mean none of that. Like it's a lot of these people, they front on camera, and so I just wish people weren't. Don't be a character. Like just be document yourself. Like with me, I have so much. Look, hold on. These are all. I have a box. I have shoe boxes, and I have with my mixer. Um, I have a bunch of like papers. These are tickets. So like when tickets come off, like whatever, I just take this like, oh, I got an idea, and I start writing. What does it say? Oh my goodness. I'm glad to be African American. Well, at least I know I'm free. Well, I did that already, and and so this is what I do. I have all my ideas here because what was with me, the reason why I did what I was doing. One of them was another small thing was people was getting paid. I was like, getting paid? And I got so much stuff in my head that I want to share it. I got so much what if with food and different ways of going about cuisine and looking at food differently that I want to share. And I can't quite share that stuff where I was at. So let me just share it at home. And that's what I was doing. I wasn't trying to like because it took me years to finally post any video. I was on social media on and off for 2017 or something. And it took me years to put a video up. And the only reason I put a video up because I was trying to promote a soap thing I was doing that I was a part of with a lady. And that's why I started posting all the time and making commercials of my stories. And I had zero desire to do that ever. And so I did it I know what reason why I did it. And then some people, they just do it. They don't, I never known them to smile. I never known these chefs to dance. Man, they we're not gonna say no names, but my goodness, this guy got on camera, got in front of a crowd. Man, he was dancing and stand-up comedy, and I've never known a guy to crack a joke. I've never known a guy to be this way. So people just don't know how to act when they get a camera or a microphone in front of them, and they just start freestyling stupidity. Like these chefs get on podcasts, these chefs get on actual TV and daytime TV show and Good Morning Africa and Good Morning America and all these other shows. They do these things and they say what you're supposed to say. But all it takes is some chef to get on. All it takes is some chef to start talking, and all it is, I get nothing but cooks sending me videos like, "Oh man, this guy's trash." Like I work for this guy, and it's just not the case at all. And we're talking back and forth like, "Oh man, I don't like fake people either." And so it'd be just cool just to be real. Like, what's real mean to you? There's a lot of people that when I get off of work, I'm not eating foie gras and truffles and caviar. Only reason why I do those videos is because I scored some at work. People are like, "Oh, Brent, you love caviar, don't you? You love truffles." Not really. I appreciate them. I like caviar more than truffle. Well, when you take a truffle and you season it, it's a beautiful thing. If it's just rice and eggs, and you just put a whole truffle on it and give it to me, I'm disappointed because it's bland. But yeah, I just be real. What's real? What's real to you? And some people, they stop doing their cooking with hydrocolloids. They stop that. They put that to the side, and they're like, you know what? I want to cook. That's not the kind of food I want to cook no more. I want to cook some home style country. They call it rustic, but originally that's what rustic meant. But that's another. But I want to cook some comfort food. I want to have a restaurant where all I'm doing is either tacos or burgers or barbecue, or they want to do like a chicken fried steak type of spot. Green beans out of a can and maybe some fresh biscuits to offset but like, a lot of canned foods, and there's line out the door, and it's like, Brent, this makes me happy. If that's what real is to you, you do that. Like cooking things that you can't pronounce just so you can say you cooked them. Is that making you happy for real? You know, I have a whole list of people. I have a list of people I just would love nothing more to pull an Eminem and a Charleston White and call these guys all out by name. And I have receipts too. My goodness. I'm happy for everyone winning. I really am. I'm happy for everyone that wins any kind of award. I like it. They're happy. They're smiling. And I love success. I love watching. I can't even watch Family Feud and Price is Right in peace without trying to shed a tear when they win. Because when they win a big prize, and I'm looking at the audience, and you have people in the audience high-fiving each other. We weren't even supposed to see that. After you look at Steve Harvey and get past his head and look at the audience, you got people like high-fiving each other. They're legit happy for the people that won. I love that. But you're not going to be acting like you're above and I'm below, and I don't like that at all. It's like y'all people let these awards and goofy success on television mess with their heads really, really bad, where I can't talk to you and I can't associate with you because you're here and I'm over here. I'm doing things over here. These networks know me. And I've been on, I've done articles at the Robb Report. Who are you? And there's a lot of people that have a hard time trying to be, but if you're a chef, as a chef, you're supposed to be hospitable. And I thought that was in your DNA. I thought a chef was supposed to do that anyway and be nice and courteous. You don't just like clock out and be mean to people at the drive-through window when you get, at the ramen spot or you don't, you're always, I thought that's the way you're supposed to be, but some don't, I don't know, man. Those cameras, TVs and awards, they're a beautiful thing, but it's not for everybody. The wrong people, the wrong person getting a hold of that kind of success, it doesn't benefit them for the best,
Yeah. So do you think social media rewards visibility, and what do you think it does to young chefs who gain that visibility way too quick?
Yeah. Well, there's a Bible verse about how I think it's in Timothy about how you got to be careful what you give to the. I'm paraphrasing this. Be careful which kind of acknowledgement and titles you give to young because they'll get puffed up. And they weren't talking about being chefs. I think it was like if you're going to be an elder of a church, you got to be of a certain age and have kids, and they got to be grown. And because if you give that title to if a 20-year-old's gonna be called elder, it'll mess them up. So social media is a beautiful thing. You get on. I can cook with this, and when Sean Combs get out of prison, I probably let me stop. Um, no, but like it's a beautiful thing. I can sit here and say I did a Dr. Pepper, barbecue sauce, and now I have a Dr. Pepper barbecue sauce brisket pop up line out whatever, and then cameras got on. Dr. Pepper gets or Sunkit or whatever gets tagged, and next thing you know, I'm flying out to do something at the soda factory or the whatever I got going on, and now I'm a chef doing commercials and I'm getting paid all this money, and so social media is good for getting the word out because all social media is um, uh, like the bulletin boards. You're driving the big when you're driving the bulletin sign, the sign, whatever that is, billboards. Yeah, that's all we're doing. The social media, that's all that is billboard. And we just going about it. We're getting our message out in a different kind of way. So it's a beautiful thing to getting the word out for sure, and getting booked and doing podcasts, getting flown out to do guest chef dinners. It's a beautiful thing for that. But when you're 20 something years old and you're not mature enough to understand what's about to happen, yeah, it can really mess with you. And then on certain platforms, they're paying some real good money, and sometimes it's not good for everybody. It's not good for 50-year-olds either. You know what I'm saying? Like some people aren't good for a level of success that they never had before. So um, there's a lot of young chefs that are mature and they have old souls. There's a lot of young chefs don't even have social media. They have an account and they only have two pictures up, 3 years apart, and they're amazing at what they do. I know a guy in Chicago right now. He's an assassin, and he posts everything except for food. You couldn't even tell. And there's a lot of people they don't even have accounts. It's like yeah, I have a picture on Facebook. I have a video on. I have a picture on Facebook, but I don't get on there. And my girlfriend, my wife, she has a TikTok account, but that's about it. I'm like, man, all that skill set, you could really just dominate, and these guys don't care. So not everyone's different, but sometimes the youth getting a hold. The problem with the youth seeing what we do, they think that's like adult standard. And so they're like, okay, cool. That's what these adults are doing. And that's what I want to do next. The reason why we have 4-year-olds on cooking competition TV shows is because they grew up with a bunch of cooking. I mean, every network has a competition show. So the kids are watching. I mean, I used to watch like G.I. Joe and He-Man and stuff like that, Voltron and stuff like that. Now you got kids watching all these different chefs cooking different types of stuff. 6-year-olds trusting chicken. I'm lazy. I don't trust chicken. I just throw it. Let's chicken. That's what I need to do. But you have these young kids doing all kinds of stuff. And making bread from scratch. It's like, hey guys, today we're gonna make a Philly cheesesteak, and they're legit taking making the bread from scratch, and the cows in the living room, and they're like beheading they're doing all that kind of stuff. Like, what I'm saying? They have young souls, young kids doing things from scratch. So they sit there and they watch us, and now we're the standard. So now you can be 5 years old saying, I want to be a cook. And I want to have a TV show. These are goals that you can have at 6 years old, where that thought process was not even around when I was young. So if we're going to be the example, what example are we setting?
Yeah, I mean, social media really has, um, I guess, given a lot of people a certain amount of exposure, and you're mentioning the kids cooking and everything like that, and I think it's people. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm guilty of enjoying watching videos like that too because it's something that I've never seen before. I didn't
Mhm.
grow up with friends who were making bread from scratch, you know?
Mhm.
We grew up, wrestling outside, uh,
Mhm.
throwing each other on cars or whatever we did back then,
Yeah.
um, playing soccer and all that stuff. So, seeing a talented child, cooking or baking bread from scratch or cooking, um, or braising a short rib, like, I couldn't even fathom doing that at their age when I was, at that
Right.
time. And so I think that's pretty cool that they know how to do that skill, because
Mhm.
cooking is a very important skill to have, and I think everybody should learn how to cook,
Mhm.
something at least.
Something, yeah.
Um, so at the end of the day, I mean, kudos to the parents for teaching them and so forth. But um, I guess at this stage in your life, what I don't want to sound rude or anything like that. But I don't think it's
Oh.
gonna sound rude. But what excites you more, like the technique or the intention of cooking?
I mean, you can say both because both of them are so fascinating. Everyone's different. So technique is kind of cool because like you're looking at this duck or this chicken or this whatever. It's like, how on earth did he get it that crispy? You see how loud that was? Man, it was a loud shatter. Oh my goodness, like it broke his teeth. I want I want Chris. What was the technique in that? And you start
Mhm.
hearing tricks. You start hearing technique. Like, hey man, chickpea flour. You didn't know? Okay, yeah, put some chickpea flour up in there. I said, really? You done that? And so, and then there's a certain way you go about it. I remember, um, well, in the '90s, especially the early '90s and '80s, any cookbook you saw that had scallops, it was not cooked well. Like it was not perfectly seared. It wasn't whatever. But then years later, once you understand, like, okay, hold on, what's going on here? These are scallops. All right, cool. I need to damp them. Why? Okay, cool. Let me. And you damp them, and so you can understand about what's going to go on. You grab some grape seed oil. Sorry, I can't help myself. This is a phase. I'm gonna get out of this phase at one point. Right when you understand what grape seed oil does, it's like, oh, that's what you do? Yeah, man. It's. I remember one time people didn't want to use grapeseed oil because it was trendy and it was too hipsters. What hipsters were using. Like, dude, get over yourself. It has a purpose. Once you understand what that purpose is, it's like, okay, oh, okay, that's what it does. Grapeseed oil, it is. And now it's a kitchen standard. But at one point, it wasn't. So you take, you damp it off. You have to know when to add the salt. I personally like to add clarified butter with I'll cook the scallops either in clarified butter or mixed it with clarified butter and a touch of oil or whatever, and it really gives it that nice, beautiful, just crust, like all uniform. You know what I'm saying? So technique is cool for stuff like that. Like, man, that's pretty, but yeah, man, wait till you taste it. Now intention. My thing with the orange chicken I did, yeah, man, I was like, first of all, taking orange chicken, you're taking orange juice and we're cooking it down. I really love Sunkissed. So how about I'm just in the privacy of my own home? Let me just take Sunkissed and then the soy sauce and stuff like that, and let me just use the Sunkissed. So my intention was just to help people think differently about like, look, you can't say that I need to respect the ingredient. And Brent, I can't believe you're not using real oranges. How dare you? Brent, how dare you use the? How dare you do that, Brent? Yeah, that's weird. I can't believe you just did that. You're not honoring the ingredient, Brent. You're not honoring the ingredient. I'm like, dude, you and all the others are drinking monsters, are drinking all these wild energy drinks. You're playing with your nose throughout service. You're vaping all day long. You're disrespecting your body all day long. But right when I put this on, now I can't, and trust me, that Sunkissed orange chicken, it was delicious. I wasn't front for the camera. Anything that you've ever seen me do is one take. And when I had the orange chicken, I fried it and I whatever, heaven. That's my. I'm doing that until yes. I'm not using any other orange until somebody else step their game up, whatever. And I think I use a little Fanta too. But and I had an idea to like, let me put the sauce back into the can. So like, if you did an orange chicken table side, you just pour the sauce like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so my intention was to help people think a little differently, take your base of something and just have fun with it. Cause I'm living life once, so I kind of want to have fun while I'm here. And I don't want to hear chefs say like, well, Brent, you're not a real chef because I can't believe you didn't whatever these weird, you're not using real ingredient. You use truffle oil. First of all, I get why people don't like truffle oil. I totally get it. You don't tell Thomas Keller that? Thomas Keller, Dana Ballou, and all these other dudes, they have truffle oil all in their cookbooks, plural, more than one. So, I hate truffle oil because why? Anthony Bourdain hated it. Do you have your own identity? Everyone's quoting Anthony Bourdain for the wrong reasons too. Like I remember, no, whatever. I remember when he passed away. People could not wait to Google image his picture and Google image something that was unique, like a unique type of picture. Find it, screenshot it, crop it, post it, and they have this little message at the bottom. Well, we love you, Bourdain, and I love the way that you. I was like, first of all, I have Kitchen Confidential, and I have his cookbook. And when he's on TV, I like to hear him talk. So I have love for Anthony Bourdain. I really do. But people don't have their own identity. So you have people like, these Anthony Bourdain shirts, and then they have all these, they don't know who they are. And they just, dude, that was him. He has his own life in his own lane. What do you have? So, Anthony Bourdain doesn't like truffle oil, but all those other Michelin dudes do. So which one's going to pick? Like, how about let your tongue do the deciding? What is your tongue like? All right, done. My intention was always to take a foundation and build on, help people think a little bit differently. Y'all actually think I'm cooking with baby oil? This is my last time bringing it up. That's my last time. When people actually think like, oh man, I can't believe we're doing that, chef. You're a chef. Okay, okay. Is that baby oil to you? Like, look what I'm doing. But then, like, my straight face when I'm cooking, I have a straight face. I'm like using it casually, I've been messing with people, man. But my intention is just like to if I can help people think a little bit differently, and then technique is always dope. So they kind of go hand in hand. But sometimes people use technique for the sake of technique, and then it tastes like trash. You have all this, dude. What's the purpose? I was somewhere where the duck press came out. That's a lot of money. Duck press is a lot of money. It's like, yeah, and what we have here is we have the blood. And everyone, it was a beautiful looking, dope duck press. I'm like, oh wow, I want one. Let me see how much it costs. I was like, nope, not doing that ever. Not that serious. Over some sauce, no. Give it to me, yeah. But and then I tasted the sauce, and I guess it just wasn't, the seasoning it needed more salt, and there's none at the table because you know how Michelin chefs get. You're like, no, our seasoned it perfect to begin with. No, well, it needed something, and so I was like, huh, so that those are bells and whistles that are so cool, but the whole purpose, our whole intention is supposed to make food taste good. So, you can make that happen through technique too. And I mean, I don't know, they kind of they're like hand in hand, really.
I genuinely hope that you open up your own restaurant because your ideas they're not which is a segue to the AI conversation because I think we're relying too much on AI, and I'm not sure if you saw this, but I guess this new generation scored lower than in their IQ test than than our generation, and that's just
That's
due to
great.
AI. But you have something genuinely special about you because um don't get me wrong, like I've made a Dr. Pepper barbecue sauce as well,
Mm-hmm.
and um, I've also done Coca-Cola, which has been done thousands of times as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I did see your orange chicken video, which was like legit to me too. But and that idea that you just brought up right now, with repurposing the can,
Hmm.
and taking that playful take into creating that extra experience. I think that your restaurant, it would definitely not lack in creativity. And I think it would be a great concept for that. So with the whole AI
Thank you.
thing,
Hmm.
yeah, no worries. Um, do you think AI has been threatening creativity, or do you think it, I guess, or does it threaten the laziness in people?
It's both. It's both because yeah, because nowadays I can literally just take my phone out and just talk to it, and whatever, from technical, from cooking techniques to stock market to how to eliminate or whatever hacks around the house. You can get on these things, talk to it, and legit gives you answers in seconds. Now, long time ago, if you want to do any kind of research, I had to get up, go to the library or the books, Barnes and Noble, or I have to get on Google or Wikipedia and like search and whatever. Nowadays, I can just my phone, I can blurt something out to it, and they'll just give me pictures, images, reference points. I can even one time I even said, "Hey, where in the video did such and such happen?" I was just like, "There's no way it's that smart." I was like, "Hey, where in the video did sent me right there?" 3 minutes 52 seconds. Like I was like, "My goodness!" So if you're not careful, it will, because we're in a lazy world right now. We want things instantly. So artificial intelligence is just giving you what you want. But if you're not careful, without discipline, it'll people will rely on it. And nowadays, I mean, it's disgusting how much money people are making, because I can sit here and say I want to have this and this. I want to make I can screenshot it, upload it, and say, hey, I want these guys to do a salsa dancing. I want these guys to be I want this Boo Boo Bunny, and this will be whatever else, and then they can these are all dancing or whatever, and over some steak, over a steak or whatever, and then I can just talk it, describe what I want. The robot will say, "You sure you want this, or we have other things you want?" It's like, what was the other thing you had in mind? Like, yeah, let's do that too. And then they'll keep on saying, "Do you want to do this? You want to do this? We can also do this. Hey, how about if it's raining outside? How about if it's a truffle? I just happen to have this. It's not scripted. I can make it. It's not a grater, but pretend this is a grater. I can have like it rained truffles and there's salsa dancing outside, and oh wow, a skirt. It's not scripted. So we could have this the cartouche be the dancing dress on Boo Boo Bunny and or whatever, and then I upload it. I send it to all the platforms, and it goes viral on every single last one of them. And if your page is monetized, you being lazy, not, I mean, it was creative, I guess, but you relying on artificial intelligence to make that happen. Now it's like, yo, I just made a lot of money off of that. I got so many new followers off of that. People want to subscribe to my channel. People want me to collaborate with them. So you know what? Wow, I got something here. No, you don't have nothing nowhere. Artificial intelligence did that for you. So now you're just, and there's no rules in making, I mean, there's no rules. Do your thing. But we're in a world where now we're not using our brain. We're using our brain less and less and less and less. And if I don't want to walk to the store and get some popcorn, one day I got extremely lazy. Understand, the grocery store from my house it's two football fields. It's two football fields away, if that. And one time I was like, I'm not going nowhere. I just Uber Eat. Yeah, I had someone deliver, and it was spent way too much money when I could have just walked to the store. So we have so many things to. If you don't want to walk to the store, good, you're good. If you don't want to um, do whatever, you can not do it, and this thing will do it for you. So if we're not careful, we're gonna get away from that, where we're using our brain less and less and less, and but everyone was going to start copying it. Everyone's going to have the same format and the same. Artificial intelligence is dope, because you see what Andre Natera is doing. That's just really incredible how he's doing it. And I can't draw. I'll tell you a story later, but I can't draw at all, But if I want something to happen, if I want to have Mona Lisa doing this and George Washington, whatever, and he's like, whatever, you can do that in uh, less than 30 seconds. I don't have to call an illustrator. I don't have to pay an illustrator. All I did for free, artificial intelligence. Hey, pimpin'. Hey, could you make me a picture of whatever? And then like, Brent, you've got it. And if I don't like her the noise, her accent's like, yeah, how do you change your accent? Because I don't really like your tone. And it'll change it. Hey man, what you want? change it to something else. You know what I'm saying? That's the world that we live in. I can get a camera, record myself, and then I can just. What's really crazy is that social media people have more weight than like Ashton Hall, the dude that be running real fast for no reason. So you have him. He has more followers than Chuck Norris. I was like, what?
Yeah.
There's so many people that's been like doing this for years and years and years, and they have so much work put in. And all you need to do is be a social media person who I like her silliness. She's totally joking. I think her name was Julia or Juliet or whatever. And she's like making like, you know, uh energy drink taco, or you know what I mean? She's like really doing really crazy stuff. She took a glove and she put like uh ground chicken into the glove. She's like, come with me while I make my boyfriend some chicken fingers. He was wanting some chicken fingers, so she took the whole glove, tied it with the chicken meat in it, and then she took the glove off, and so she has a picture of like ground chicken that's cooked on a plate, giving her boyfriend some chicken fingers, and people love it and they think it's funny and they think it's gross and whatever. And I mean, I'd rather do what she's doing, where she's using her brain, than just depending on a bunch of robots, which is totally fine. Like there's a place for it, but if you're a chef, because with technology, all I got to do is screenshot one of your dishes, and I can type in the origin, and it'll take me to where that you stole it from.
So with the Chuck Norris thing, the only reason Ashton Hall has that many is because he lets him. So
Yeah, good point. Good point. Yeah.
um the AI, so I was watching a YouTube video yesterday on AI replacing jobs, and I
Yeah.
think he was making really solid points. And I've been following his page, Stephen Graham,
Okay.
for quite some time. And he talks about finances, he talks about all that, all that jazz, real estate and all that fun stuff. And
Hmm.
um, he was talking about how AI, um, I guess he saw a tweet from Elon Musk stating that if you're not using AI to the fullest within 5 years, AI will replace your job.
Mm.
And and AI has been significantly getting better and stronger every single day.
Hmm.
Uh, and thus it ruins the creativity that a lot of people have. And that's why when I programmed my AI, I specifically programmed it so it doesn't give me suggestions, but it'll give me bullet points to
Okay.
how I can write my script. Okay, so it'll
Hmm.
ask me a question, and then I'll be like, okay, I'll answer it, and then I'll perform it into a script. And that's how I
Okay.
basically write my scripts, right?
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, I still want to use my brain, and I don't want to
Hmm.
rely too heavily on AI. Now, granted, there's certain things I'll rely on AI, such as
Hmm.
I don't know, like
Equations and stuff.
equate, yeah, finances and stuff like that,
Yeah.
right? Especially when it comes down to like, oh, plate costing, and
Sure.
or
Hmm.
sometimes it'll, I'm asking it to do something for me while I'm doing another thing.
Hmm.
Um, so do you think if a young cook relies on AI before they master any fundamentals, what kind of chef do they eventually become? What do you think they eventually become?
Man, I'm not gonna sit here and say authentic, because at the end of one thing I've already said is like the main thing in food is just don't nobody and make sure it tastes good, you know. So I just firmly believe in fundamentals. Like I firmly believe in and you know, get your old school book, you know, and just understand what the foundations are, and you know, and it'll help you be the person really authentic. Like, because artificial intelligence, it can't it like, I don't know if see, artificial intelligence is kind of wild, because I can probably, no, it's a fact. I haven't done this, but I can say, hey, go pot, whatever it is. Hey, I want to make a orange chicken and put the sauce back into the can. What you think? Artificial intelligence is so smart and understands, like, oh, it addresses me by my name and everything. Oh, Brent, that's very whimsical. It sounds like you're about to knock it out of the park again. That's gonna be heavy on social media. You should do that. This is a robot talking to me. You know, so you know, a robot can rock with you. A robot can agree and whatever, but I don't think the artificial intelligence would have came up with that idea on first. But it's trained to like understand what picture you're setting, and then it'll go from there. But I can honestly say anything I've ever done, I have not anything I've ever cooked. It came out of my brain, and I mean not everything. I mean, of course, I didn't freestyle. I didn't make a pâte choux. I didn't create that. I didn't create souffles. But I understood the basics, and once I understood the foundations, I can do whatever I want. And so I don't need. God gave me a brain to where I don't need artificial intelligence for that. You know, I need it for some regular stuff like, hey, can you, you know, where it says colored crayons, can you make them all black? And I mean, sorry, but like, you know, I can do it for that. And actually, you know what? Artificial intelligence is so smart. They probably say, well, Brent, that's kind of, we don't do that here. They have standards. They understand what's about to be racist. They understand, you know, they're programmed that way. I just think if you're young like that, I just think you should just detox yourself. Like keep your phone on for like regular uses, and take your gift card that you got for Christmas and just buy some flour and some eggs and some milk, and you know what I mean, and just and play, you know, and just kind of. I mean, yeah, look for some inspirations for sure. Like if you want to do if you have an idea for a certain type of a cronut, like you know, because Dominique came up with that. But if you have something else going on, and you want to see if someone else has done it before, that's one thing. But I think you should just learn all the custards, all the pastry creams, all of the you know all the bases for all kind of stuff, and just let your brain, you know. And the thing is, in this game, in this profession, you don't even have to be original. You don't have to be creative. It's all good. You can. You don't even have to be a technician of what you do. There's clientele for everybody. I can sit here and just like I said about chicken fried chicken, open up a chicken fried chicken spot. Everything comes out of a can, including the gravy, and there's a line out the door because there's a lot of people they don't want their comfort is that their palates aren't trained to like fresh green beans, because fresh green beans and green beans out of a can, it's like night and day. Like I remember growing up on green beans out of a can, and when I had fresh green beans, I'm like, this don't taste right. Well, it's supposed to be the opposite. It's supposed to be the other way around, you know. So you don't have to be creative, man. You don't need art. You know, you can to be successful. You can not be original. You can rip people off. You can not cook right, not cook well. Your brisket can be always be known for being overcooked, and there's people that like that. They don't know what tender beef is, and there's a lane for everything, man. Like you and me, we do things at a high level, and there's some people they don't think high level. They're not interested, and they just you can be a successful caterer cooking crap. I've seen it with my own eyes. That's just what I'm saying. I've seen it. I've seen it. Guys cooking, you know, big banquets and huge weddings, and cooking for at the Potter's house, and cooking this and cooking that. You know, cooking big events, and the food is not even, everything's from Cisco. Clientele doesn't care. Got paid. Everyone got broke off. Walked away with 17,000. Paid the staff. Paid everyone real good. Paid the guy that's driving the big truck extra. All because they serve food out of a can. So it's. I mean, nowadays it's literally whatever. I want to cook good food, and I want to cook food from an actual potato. I don't want to open up a bag of powder and mix it with But there's people that do that, and they're doing very well. So
Yeah, I mean, I think those are more so the big commercial kitchens where they're just trying to pump, quantity over quality out. Um, but I definitely see where you're coming from with that. Um, so I saw a video that you did with Ric Flair's drink,
yeah,
and I'm a huge Ric Flair fan.
yeah.
Um, I got his autobiography and it's signed too.
Oh,
Uh,
and it's signed. I got.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't have it signed, but yes,
I think it's the To Be the Man, right?
I
So
is it this? Oh, I have one that was a gift. It was like it's short and it's blue and it's like this.
yes, that's the
That's him.
one.
Okay,
Yep.
all right, nice.
So what inspired you to I guess just do the drink to use it in your you used it for a souffle, right?
No, that one I used ice cream. I think I
Ice
made a
cream.
sorbet with
Yes.
it or something like that. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Well, that was genuine. I didn't like. So you know, it was crazy. I kicked it with him for 2 days straight. It was nuts. But it was him and his team. So I think what happened was they're like, hey, let's have a business meeting in Puerto Rico. I think that's what it was. And when they were in Puerto Rico, they were just at the bar and not talking about business the whole time. They were just trying to talk here and there about it. And so, long story short, I became cool with a gentleman named Michael and these other two guys. I forgot their names. Very pleasant, extremely friendly people. Ric Flair was extremely friendly too. And he wasn't. What was crazy about that day was I was there for some chef stuff. They were just there out of coincidence. They were just there. And so it was so cool for Ric Flair to have his back turned at the bar. We're just talking and whatever. And all these chefs that you see on TV that we love so much or whatever, they were in the back and they were like, taking pictures all together and yay, we're doing it. Hooray! Whatever. And Ric Flair is on a whole different level, selling out stadiums, back was turned, didn't even register, because you hear a bunch of noise like, what's going on over here? Oh, it's a chef festival? Huh. Like nothing. Him and his crew, they were like, they're made men. So that was so cool, the fact that like, I was really with royalty, like he was over the cameras, he was over the noise. I mean, he still loves it, he appreciates it, when people see him and woo, whatever, and he will, he may do it back. And but he wasn't mean about nothing. He was chilling. I was sitting right here, and he was like right in like. As a matter of fact, his phone was like right here. He's like, "Hey, what do you call me? Hey, big guy, or hey, not hot shot because that's disrespectful." But he was like, "Hey, man, I'll be right back." He had his sunglasses and his phone. I was like, "That's insane. This is Ric Flair," and like my peripheral vision, like, oh wow, it was real. It was real because like I think he had lost his son. It was in the front of us. It was just crazy to be around that. Anyway, sorry. So I met the gentleman's name was Michael, and they were talking about their Woo Energy drink, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I'll send you some. Give me your address." It was dead serious. It wasn't like heated a moment talk. It wasn't like nothing. Give me your address. I'll send you a case, and did. Um, no, it was like 4 flats of the different types of drinks they had. So I have all this energy drink here. I got to do something with it. So and that's what happened. Let me shoot my shot to see if I can make a Woo, ice cream or Woo sorbet or whatever I was making. So yeah, I don't know. I love ice cream. That's what happened. To answer your question, I like ice cream, and that's what my brain went that, because I tasted it. I was like, it tasted really good. And then me and Michael was talking. I was like, hey man, it'd be kind of cool if, I said, these rappers got ice creams in stores. Ric Flair's got to have something, And so the idea is that we're going to do something and talk about it and see what would, nothing came of it, but I may do it again, but that's what happened. I just like ice cream, and I had cases of it. So
No, I mean, you shot your shot, and that's definitely important too, because I
yeah,
mean, what's the worst that can happen, right? I
right,
mean, that case, they just sent you some energy drinks, and that was
for
that,
real. Yeah,
That's pretty cool, man.
yeah, it always happened like that. I don't know. It's just like I said before, just learn the basics of everything, or try to. And once you understand a good chunk of that, you can literally go in any kitchen and they can say, "Hey, we need to make a special for this and that." And if you already know a lot of stuff, and and pick up a Turkish cookbook, pick up not just Italian and French, like get some authentic German up in there, get some, it'll just open your brains to all kinds of other stuff. We all cook the same type of food, but we call it different. There's some things we have different labels, different names for certain things, but um, it's just kind of good to always do homework. That's the main thing. If I had to tell anyone anything, like, it doesn't stop. And if it stops, then your flow may stop. But if we just keep it going, be the best, be original as much as possible. Like, and be you, just be you, whatever that you is. Because I'm trying to tell you, these these chefs on these networks, yeah, they dancing for the camera and saying dumb stuff that's not true. And I got to deal with my own people. And they're uh, they get asked all these questions like, "Hey, what do you think about, what's like Black History Month?" Every other week it's one thing, but then February comes around. Oh man, we're going to have a Black History dinner where we uphold our people, and it's very important, the community, that we recycle the Black dollar and be there for a brother and a sister and uphold them to the whatever. And then I have receipts too on that too. A lot of these people don't mean it. They say that, like, I'm here, you're here, and we don't communicate with each other. I've had people, um, they didn't want nothing to do with me when I had 118 followers, 117. When I had 117 followers, they didn't want nothing to do with me. We didn't talk. They didn't, they would say hi back maybe, but as far as like any other thing, no, I wasn't on their level. Then years later, things started changing around, and you know, and that stupid number at the top got people like, "Oh, I'll follow him now." I was the same today as then. I'm just cooking more. I'm being whatever, but I'm not. Nothing's different. People that know me they can't say like, "Oh, man, he let those cameras get a hold of him." Nope. This is who I was at work. You know, I was making Snickers souffles at work way before Instagram. Yeah, I think Instagram's first year when it came out, whatever. No, this is 2011. I remember having to somebody wanted to impress. He wanted to impress his girlfriend, and they went to Commander's Palace, and they had their legendary souffle. We have a souffle spot here in Dallas, and I think the lady was like, "Let's go over there," and he's like, "No," because he had a bunch of points racked up at the hotel. So, "No, we're gonna stay here. We'll ask one of the chefs if they can make a souffle." Nowhere near on the menu. But the chef was like, "Brent, I know you like this kind of stuff. Would you like to, he wants to have a souffle." I'm like, "Swell. What time?" "All right, done. Give me the keys to because we had this candy bar cage. Give me the keys to the cage, and give me like nine's my favorite number. Give me 9 Snickers." I think I pocketed like a few of them, but then I use a few for the Anglaise, and then I used the Snickers for the Snickers. I wanted a Snickers souffle, and so gave me what I wanted. And the people that gave me a hard time at the restaurant, they saw what I was doing. No pieces of, no recipe, no phone out, no nothing, just making it. The guy looked at me and was like, "Hey, you got a recipe for that?" because everyone thinks that cooking is so precise and baking is so precision. You have to weigh everything out and you have to weigh things out. That bugs me. Remind me, here's the gram scale. I've seen this. You've seen this too. They got the gram scales of either the powder or whatever. Last time, or whatever liquid. It's last time, or whatever liquid it is. They take it, and then when they're doing they're pouring into the whatever the bowls and stuff. They pour it. This is the cup, by the way, not a board. They take the cup and they pour it. There's still some they don't pour it all the way. They don't use a rubber spatula. They're not getting it all out. I thought y'all said it was gram. I thought it was precision. Is it really precision? Because I'm not gonna say her name. Oh, crap. But like this the lady that went to jail, that went to prison, she had a whole bunch of, hey guys, make sure it's all, make sure it's all scaled out because this is bread. It has to be precise. And so she's taking like flour and buttermilk and whatever, and it's still like it's not all out. But I thought it was supposed to be so precise. It needs to be by the gram. And if it's not, if it's off, the recipe is off, or if it's off, it's not gonna taste right. That drives me insane. Anyway, yeah, I really get worked up off of that stuff. Man, my goodness. Anyway, so everyone thought it was like precision. And so here I am taking egg whites and I'm separating it, and I'm just, I didn't use the machine. I think I was doing this, I'm getting I didn't have a machine for that. And so I just made it, melted the Snickers. I had the souffle, I had the cream, the pastry cream, and I took the souffle or the melted Snickers and did all that. And you know what I mean? Make the anglaise to the side. And I was like, hey, man, let me know when they're ready. Okay, they're done eating? Okay. Do they smoke? Are they going to stay put? Done. It come back in such and such time. Put it in the oven, came out. I made, to be on the safe side, I think I made, dude, I'll be honest. It was two people at the table. I made two. I didn't have three for backup to see what, I only made two. And they're depending on it right then and there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was confident enough in the skills that I had. I was paying attention to the details. They're like, well, souffles are very technical. I don't do that. But just pay attention. I made sure the ramekin this is a ramekin. I made sure the ramekin was all buttered up. I made sure I did everything right. So there's no reason why this shouldn't work. So in the oven, I only made two of them. And the two came out nice. I said, hey, we're going to take this table side. The last time. That's the anglaise. And so they cracked it. And then we put the Snickers anglaise. He said that was better than what they had at Commander's Palace. So all I'm saying is, like, if you just have an imagination, it helps to have an imagination. You ain't got to really these days. But if it's here, go for it, Hey, my uncle, he's from Afghanistan. He's from Iran. He likes donkey urine. Well, let's make a donkey urine flan. Done. I already know how to go about it. You know what I mean? Like, do you understand the foundations? Do you have a brain? Pay attention to the details, and then you're good. So that's the biggest gripe I ever have in life. Like, oh, it has to be precise. Dude, Abraham and Moses and Peter and Paul, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, they didn't have no scale. They cooked. Like, they had, cakes back in those days. They was cooking big festivals. They didn't have grammed out scales. So when a chef says you have to gram it out, and that's one thing I don't want the youth to understand. Like, first of all, if you haven't used it, whatever, but be consistent in that, because you're saying gram it out. And like I said before, you pour the thing out and there's still leftover messy cellulose still on the thing, or there's still like some buttermilk for your chest pie or whatever. There's still some buttermilk left over into the thing. You didn't get it all out. So it's not really grammed. I mean, I'm done. You get the idea.
Yeah, no, I mean, dude, just making two for a table of two. That's
Yeah.
big. I can every time, even with I understand, like, creme brulee is so simple, right? It's just
Right.
egg yolks and heavy cream and sugar and
Mm-hmm.
that's it. But I always make more than I should because
Sure.
I mean, I always want to taste it.
Yeah.
and then I also want to make sure that I'm doing it right too, you know.
Hmm.
Um, but souffle, that's another level. Um, so kudos to you. Um, uh, do you, so if we're being really honest about this,
Yeah.
has the industry lowered its standards because it's easier to sell personality than excellence?
A little bit, man. A little bit. Um, I mean, it goes back to social media. It reminds me of social media when a restaurant would rather call up a it's the I word. I don't like to use it, but like a restaurant would like, hey, we need to get things going. Let's get somebody in here to pretend that they like the food. We're paying them to act. I've freshly just saw that recently with my own eyes, two different times, and it was disgusting. And they hired some people to like, hey, like we just need y'all to sell it. Done. You got the money, they got the time, and they legit just did the whole toasting at the table and dancing and smiling really hard. All the cameras are all flashed up just to pretend that they like the food. Um, I don't know, man. I didn't think like that coming up. We weren't taught like that. No one saw that, like you focus on originality and you focus on good food. Even if the food wasn't original, was it executed well? Even if it wasn't executed well, was everyone nice? Because sometimes the food could be a little bit bland. You just do what Thomas Keller does. Bring some salt with you. They got TVs. They have a cool bartender. He's funny, and all right, done. Now I'm a regular. So I don't know, man. It's I wish that it just seems like it's not all restaurants are the same. Not all restaurants do this, but it just seems like a whole chunk of it is there's a foundation of there's some fakery in the foundation. And if you just focus on the food, and if the food is good, and remind everyone to smile, and you hire the right people, you shouldn't have to. It should be real all across the board. But it all starts with the foundation. There's a restaurant here. I want to call their names out so bad, but there's a restaurant down here in Dallas. Way before they even had the keys, they're like, "Yeah, we want a Michelin star." That's the first thing out the guy's mouth. I was like, "I'm not working over there." Because that means there's going to be a lot of stupidity. And to this day, today, right now, there's some stupid stuff going on over there. Like I said, you would want to open up a restaurant just to get a star. After you get a star, then what? You're going to probably want two. Then you're going to you're going to drive yourself crazy trying to get three. You got three. Now you can't sleep because how do I maintain the three? Now you're going crazy. You're aging. You're looking crazy. And now there's some dude. The word got out, man. There's some people that the word got out. Michelin's not always 100% as it once was, and some of these awards aren't 100% either. A guy told me that worked at D Magazine said, yeah, basically, if you got the money, we got the time. So you mean to tell me when restaurant got number 2 and number 1, there were some that happened. It was like, yeah, it's sad. I don't like that. I don't want to. You open up a restaurant, and I got to make sure we sell a bunch of food to pay off the public relation team. I get it, but if you're good, if the food is really really good, people are going to talk about it. Their cameras will come out. Keep your money. Tell the public relations team we're good. We'll talk to you. We'll talk with you guys in a few months and like blow them off. But like, if you just focus on food, if the chef is always there, especially if his name's on it, the restaurant's called Mitch's, and if Mitch is always going to be there, man, that's a bonus. So it's like if Mitch is, I don't know why Mitch, but if Mitch is going to be there, Mitch, I think I have problems with Mitch's. Mitch's get stitches. I'm okay. Keep that. That's a good one. No, but like, yeah. So if Mitch is there, if Mitch is happy, if Mitch is smiling, if the food tastes good, if you guys offer rolls, and the rolls come out to the table. Oh man, okay, cool. You got the rag, or got the towel. Sorry, got the towel, And all right, here's those rolls, that steam. You open it, they get the fresh butter. I mean, in our world, we're making it or it's compound or something, but it's butter and it's room temperature. No, you don't need a canal. It don't need to be a perfect square, but there's some butter to go along with this hot roll. And you do this, and maybe there's some jam made from scratch or not. And you bite into that, that right there, you don't guarantee that he or she is going to talk about that restaurant. And they're going to take pictures of it. And there's going to be like, before the bread gets here, y'all gonna take pictures? I'll take the picture for you. And the server's like doing this. All right, so it's rolling. Y'all ready? Does this? Open it up. Keep your money. You don't need public relation. That was it. Because you don't know if Catherine and Shamika they don't know what kind of following they have, and they probably only get that one. Shamika has her uncle Leroy that loves bread. She don't send it to him. Leroy after work, Leroy's gonna show up with some of his friends from UPS. He's like, yeah, man, we can't wait. We saw the picture of my niece. She sent a picture, and that's why the three of us are here. Then 3 turns into 18, then 18 turns, and then they have a whole. Then that's just the black people. But then you have Cynthia. You have Cynthia. Sorry, let's go with Bethany this time. You have Bethany. She takes a picture of the salad that she had. And she was like, yeah, it's a Caesar salad, but man, look how fresh this romaine is. And I hear that crunch. She posted it on her page. The algorithm, the artificial intelligence heard the crunch. It saw the fresh lettuce. Now the camera is going to send it to people that, and now you have this whole phenomenon of a restaurant all because the food was done right. Keep your money. The public relation is actually the public that's eating the food. I should stop right there. But no, that's the thing. If the food is good, man, things will take care of itself. I don't need to hire a bunch of INFLU. I don't want to call. Leave them alone. Keep your money. I was buying some glasses one time. They said some lady was in there buying glasses, and she's like, "Yeah, Brent, she's I hate that word. She's like that. She's and she goes, she leaned in like she's Michael Jackson. She leaned in. She goes, they gave her $800 credit. I was like, what? So she's just so she can post, hey guys, today I'm getting glasses, and you know me, when I get my glasses, my glasses thicker than gumbo. My goodness. Anyway, let's be mature for once. So she goes in there. They gave her $800 credit to buy some stuff too. So just to take a picture of of her experience there. Oh my goodness! So that just drives me crazy. It drives me crazy. If you have good product, if you have good food, if you're a good comedian, if you're a good legendary fighter, you don't have to call somebody else to be fake. Like, how do you sleep at night? I don't. How do you sleep at? How do people sleep at night knowing that the business that you have is because you had to pay these people over here to lie, and the people that you paid off never came back because the food didn't like the food. Trust me, I have receipts.
So after everything you've seen, the success, the egos, the faith, the failure, what does it actually mean to be a good chef, in your opinion?
Well, a good chef to me is not just the food. Are you a loving person in real life? Because all that stupid stuff that people talk about, like, oh, my food loves, and my food wants to hug you. My bowl is a chef's kiss, and it hugs you. And your attitude and what you serve me, it feel like it gave me the finger. I don't know if you believe in yourself or not. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I think if you're a chef, it's across the board that you're this way. You come in, and you speak to the staff. When you leave, you say goodbye to the staff. We're here for you, or you're one of the main components. So we're all in this together, but we're cooking the food that you want us to cook, and you let us have some specials here and there. So yeah, it's not just you; it's all of us now. But like, are you are you friendly in real life? Are you loving for real across the board? Is it? Because to me, a chef is a lifestyle. So a good chef to me is when I can call up, leave a voicemail on a certain chef of a certain status, and say, hey, congratulations to that new restaurant you did in Toronto or Miami, or whatever. That's really really dope, and um, you've always been an inspiration to me, and I look forward to eating there. And take it's less. You know what? You can go to your phone and type in the letter T. Your robot should, if you've been saying, if you're a thankful chef, right when you hit T, it'll give you the options to say thank you or not, and you can just hit the check and send it. All you had to do, sir or lady, take your phone. Oh, somebody likes my. Oh wow, what a nice note. Letter T, send. Letter T will say thank you, and you don't have to say thank you. Boom. There's a lot of weirdos in oh, I was close. Oh, that was close. Ooh wee, I caught myself. There's a lot of chefs. There's a lot of these people that are not across the board. They don't you speak to them in real life and they think that you want their autograph. I don't like that. I just told you I'm here for your food. I flew up here from Dallas just to eat here, and you just, I like it when I met John George. I met him and he's like I gave him the whole thing. I said, hey, like I live in Dallas, and I'm just here to eat here, and I had a great time, and it was very inspirational and whatever. And he said, how was the food? I was like, that's the first thing out of his mind. He wanted to know what was the food like. Okay, great. You came here to eat the food. Okay, great. How was it? Gave me a big old smile, big old handshake, extremely friendly, and I got up out of there. And he went back to doing what he was doing. He didn't blow me off. You know, I think if you're a chef, a good chef, it ain't just food, man. Like it's everything. It's across the board. You're not just. It's across the board. Are you hospitable? You need to be hospitable. If chef was the acronym, the H stands for hospitable. I'll figure out what the C and the E and the F is for. But like, at least, you know what I mean? Like, you got to be, it's a lifestyle. Like, I don't, you go to a preacher, I'm expecting the preacher to be friendly after the pulpit. I'm expecting the firefighter or the undercover cop or the cop, whoever's a policeman, I'm expecting them to like, oh, there's some danger. Let me help out. Oh, wow, that's on fire. Let me offer some assistance. Oh, you don't just, if you're a teacher, yeah, you teach for your classes, but if you hear something incorrect or hear someone having a casual conversation at a coffee spot, maybe you don't stop teaching. Maybe you just like, maybe you keep it going. That's who you are. I thought being a chef is an occupation. It's just a racket. It's just a gig for some of these people, and unfortunately, they have stars by their names.
You ever watch that show, Black Mirror on
I'm
Netflix?
familiar. I've seen an episode or two, but I've been missing it.
There's an episode where people have these like meta glasses, or these Ray-Bans or whatever, like you can see the social standing of each person, right?
Oh, yeah.
And the ones who score super high, they were up at the upper echelon of society. But the
Okay.
ones who were I think they were, if they were under a certain number, they were at the lower end of society, right? And
Uh-huh.
then some of them even had their numbers completely erased, so they had no social currency whatsoever. So they
Oh
were pretty
wow.
much the misfits of of the world, right?
Yeah.
And so there was this woman who was just like she was faking it the entire time because
Oh
she
wow.
wanted to keep her social currency up. And then I guess she had gotten to an argument with someone who had higher currency than her,
Uh-huh.
and it dropped her bad. And so people started avoiding her because they didn't want
Ah,
to associate with her, you know?
that's
And
wild.
so it got to a point where it became a slippery slope, and she eventually got to 0. It was completely done. There was no way going back up. And
Oh wow.
yeah, so it was an intense story.
Wow.
But what I really like about Black Mirror was that how how it really puts in perspective of maybe it was a bit of an exaggerated story, but it wasn't too far off from
It
what is
wasn't far
going
off.
on today,
No.
you know? And at the end of the day, like right now, as of right now, I have 26.1 thousand followers on it.
Congratulations, by the way. That's a beautiful thing.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. But and I think I mentioned this on another podcast before where I did mention it where I was like it was about the followers. It was about, getting people onto my page and getting that traction.
Yeah.
But then I kind of got to a point where I was like, well, this is 26,000 or however many it was during that time. I was like, man, like this isn't doing anything for me at the end of the day. What I really truly enjoy is mentoring and helping people,
Mm-hmm.
become a better version of themselves. And if that's my calling to help people and to be able to produce great chefs mentally, then I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna give it 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of the reason why I started this podcast journey is to explore the minds like yours or Andre's or
Mm-hmm.
um, you know, uh, James Avery, whoever is on this podcast, and to be able to help people grow and see if there are any people who are in that similar situation, and see how you overcame it.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, if a young cook right now is listening to
Mm-hmm.
you right now, right, and they're feeling overwhelmed, they're feeling uncertain, what do you think? What do you tell them that they absolutely need to hear, even if it sucks right now, if it hurts to keep pushing forward?
Yeah. It's not it's not easy. Like I'll let them know, like, hey, look, this is I've been there too. This isn't easy. But life is hard. This is part of life. There you go. But it's really, really easy and it's really, really simple when you surround yourself with loving, cool, dope people. And if your restaurant you're working at is too much for you, so that doesn't mean feel free to leave. Feel free to take care of yourself because what's the purpose of working at the best restaurant in the city and you hate your life? So there's a lot of people that reach out to me and they're defeated, and I'm like, dude, what makes you happy though? And this one guy said, yeah, what really makes me happy is I just want to go back home and cook with my people. And I think he was in Florida. Let me use different states. Let's just say he was in New York, and then he said, I don't like it here. I want to go back home and cook with this one guy back at my home and be with my family. That's what would make me happy. Done. Doom. Good. Do that. You don't have to work at Le Bernardin and all these different restaurants and all these weird stories that people like to tell and work abroad if that's not in the cards for you. If you can't take it, it doesn't mean that you couldn't do it. Well, I mean, it doesn't mean that you are a failure. It just like you tried it and you're not made up for that. Like, don't there's no harm in saying I went to Spain and it didn't work out. Like, dude, you tried. I know a lot of people are never thinking about going to Spain. It's not happening.
Yeah.
You at least did that. I haven't done that. There's a lot of legends that have not done that. So, don't do what is expected of you. Do what is expected of you. Like, do what you want you to do. Like, what's going to make you breathe and be happy? Because this is extremely difficult, especially when you start working at places to feel like you have to work there to be successful. And people work at these places just so they can tell these stupid stories about how they worked at its own place. Okay, but just like the stars, like, yeah, but I'm like, you're only there for 1 year. So I mean, that's not a good attitude to have. But I'm just saying, like, it seems like it's doper stories when people say, "Oh man, I was in New York for 17 years. I worked for this person, that person." Oh my goodness, But these are same people that I work with, I've seen, and I'm just like, I can't see that you work because you double dip and you're yelling at the staff and like I expected you to be better than that. So anyway, life is really hard, but it's really easy with dope people around you. And if you don't if you find yourself not being, if you're always miserable, you probably got to change your surroundings, change your mindset, change, because a Michelin star chef doesn't mean that you doing anything that you're better than anyone else. There's a mindset like, well, I need to work with this guy. He's James Beard winning. He won a bunch of James Beard. He was on TV. I want to work with him. Yeah, but maybe that's not that sounds good. At the end of the day, when you tell somebody what you did and where you're working at the industry spot after work, and we're all hanging out eating ramen and talking about anime, and you want to talk about your shift, we didn't lose any sleep that you had to do inventory in the middle of in a rush. No one cared. We do all these cool stories. We do all this stuff just so we can tell cool stories. After we hear that story you told, no one remembered it, and they don't care. So you're living your life to tell cool stories, and the reality of the matter is your audience not really, So you have to take care of yourself. If that means, working at a taco spot that only sell tongue, cheeks, and penis, and that's what you want to, and have a line out the door, and if that's what you want to do, or they make homemade tortillas, and it's only like a few people, small staff, they're playing authentic music. There's a TV in the watching TV, and you're with your people. If that's what it means, you do that. You have to take care of yourself, and it is impressive to hear someone. I have friends right now that worked at all those places. That worked at 11 Madison Park. I love to hear these stories. Like, my goodness, I'm proud of that dude. Man, that's dope. Cool. And then right when I hear that, I get inspired. A minute 17 again. Let's do it. A minute and 26 seconds. I done moved on. I literally done moved on. I like, oh, that's so cool. You what? Oh man, yeah, man. And Daniel Holm was in the kitchen, and he liked my mise en place. What? Man, he didn't throw nothing away. Dude, that's so dope, man. Oh, that's awesome. Cool. Oh man, I love that for you. That's dope. A little over a minute, I forgot. I moved on. So you moved to you moved to New York, and you live in a house with 12 people, one bathroom, just so you can, tell these stories about after, I worked in Manhattan, but then I picked up some shifts along the week at nights in Brooklyn, but then there's a spot in Queens that I shared, whatever. I shared a place with 12 other people. Are you living that story because this is what you want to do to enhance your career and your life? Or to come back to Texas and tell me a dumb story about how you lived in Brooklyn? I love me some Brooklyn. If I have a daughter, her name is going to be Brooklyn. But if it's not in the cards, you're literally doing that to impress me. I'm trying to tell you, we forgot. We literally, you posted a video with you and Daniel Hume. Hey, my friend, I like so the truffle is, I like the truffle. The truffle is very good because in Switzerland or Sweden or wherever I'm from, and that's dope. But I like that dude. I have, look, I bought the box set. Oh, look, I love that dude. I love the very first cookbook. Oh, man, I mean, the rest of it was poppycock, but the very first cookbook, oh my goodness, I love those dudes, man. I like what they do. If I heard stories or not, but I still enjoy my first feeling when I heard about the French Laundry the first time. I like that. Before I knew the details about David Chang, I enjoy Milk Bar and David Chang, the Momofuku. I enjoyed the adrenaline rush that cooks had, that book, and Sean Brock's first cookbook. Man, all of us chefs raw nerding out. I love that. And for me to hear that you're working with these people, that's dope. But if you're getting mistreated, you're getting called racial slurs, and you're getting fist fights with the sous chef, and you're miserable, and you're stressed out, and you're 27 years old, you already had to do a comb over because you're losing your hair, is it worth it? Because that story you're going to tell me, I'm going to forget about it. So, I mean, it's cool. I will introduce you to my friends. Like, oh man, this guy right here. Oh man, he's dope, man. He works with this guy, and right now he's in New York and he's working at such and such. That's dope. We're like, oh man, we can't wait to hear the stories. We can't wait to ask questions and nerd out with you. Once we leave, forgot. My life kicked in. I don't forgot what I just, I live. Look, I got things that I do. I got to go home and cook with this. That's my last time. Last time. last time. No, I have a whole life, because if we're talking about food, we didn't talk about turntables once. I love turntable. I love music. I love weird short stories. I love chess. So yeah, the reality of the matter is you told me that you work with and Daniel Home because I have a duck I put on the menu because it's good, whatever. Anyway, that's cool and all, but like we don't, just take care of yourself, and don't live a life to tell stories. Because I hear your story, like, oh, that's really, really cool. 45 seconds later, I done moved on. And you actually living that life that you're actually miserable, but I'm sorry, you get the point.
Chef, if you could ask 3 chefs to be on the Kitchen Quest podcast, who would they be?
Yeah. Woo! 3 chefs. Oh man. Oh, got a cramp. There's a guy in Houston, and I enjoy his intensity. I like how smart he is, and I like the way he moves. His name is Austin Simmons. Um, he's Southern, he's country, he's a cowboy, but he understands flavor, he understands food. He moves in silence. Like I think just recently his followers have popped up, but he has stories about like there's a French dude that came to his restaurant in Houston, ate some dishes, and was like, "Yo, yeah, we don't even make this like this in France," and invited him to come up to France and stage and go foraging with them. Anyway, I mean that's just right now. Um, um, man, crap, dude. Abner Samuel. You know who that is?
No.
Abner Samuel is a guy that you know who Dean Faring is?
Yeah.
Okay. That was Dean Faring's boss, Stephen Piles and all those guys.
Oh.
Yeah, he's the one that put those guys on. Yeah, he's in Texas, and he's I mean, there's a lot of stories, but like he's when it comes to the food and how he thinks, the wordplay in the menu. He's a guy that would shut the social media down. He's a guy that if they ever did a documentary on that dude, the whole world would just lose their minds because he's that guy. I think he's probably like, I don't know, maybe 68, 69, 70. I don't know how he's older, like in his high 60s or something, maybe. And he's just a whole legend. He's a Dallas legend. He's from, I think, Jerusalem. And then there's all these wild stories, but man, this is a guy that, when Sean Penn and Madonna got married, him and Wolfgang Puck cooked for him. Yeah. So, I mean, I could easily say, I mean, those are 2 names that I know personally that kind of like, I really like how they move. That would be kind of cool. But if we want to do something like that we see on TV, mainstream, um, um, man, I really like, there's a whole bunch of them, man. I don't know. Kenny Gilbert's dope. Do you know who Kenny Gilbert is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, him, Chris Scott. I like man, I don't know, dude. Cosentino. I don't know if we ever heard his story. Like I've heard bits and pieces and I can put it together, but I like the way he thinks. I like the way he moves. And let me pick one person. Okay, sorry. Not the fancy chef. Not him. Hey, well, I'm gonna stop. What's who's the guy? My brain is off. Let me glance at my okay. I don't mean crap, dude. Yeah. Let's just go with I'm gonna think about a good one later. But yeah, I guess I don't know. Cosentino, I guess. That'd be dope to see you guys talk because he's doing the same thing that you're doing, and I like his stories. He told a story about how he was how Pierre Kaufman taught him how to do the trotters. I was like, dang, that's wild. You was starting over there. And Pierre the man talked with you personally. That's wild. So that's dope. I mean, dude, it's honorable mention, Marco Pierre White. But what's funny about Marco Pierre White is that like he does this whole like you let Mother Nature do the work.
Yeah.
I was like, no, that's poppycock because like when you look at his books, there was no Mother Nature nowhere. It was so technical, like it was so like nerve wracking, like there's no. He was like nowadays that's a realization he has now, I think. But when you look at like Devil in the Kitchen and you hear those stories, and you look at like White Heat and anything on TV that he's done in the early days, there was no Mother Nature doing the work and keeping it simple. It was all so. But he's always fun to listen to. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, hopefully I can get Marco one day. I've reached out multiple times, but we'll see what happens. Doesn't hurt to ask, right? And that's a
No,
valuable lesson.
no.
So, Chef, where can we find you?
The Instagram, Brent Eats Food is Instagram, but like that's the main thing. I post on that first because that's what I was introduced to first. But if you just type in Brent Weathers, like I don't know everything, because I forget my YouTube. YouTube is Brent Weathers, I believe, and then TikTok I'm in jail, Facebook I'm in jail. So, but Brent Eats Food is what I come here or come to the on Instagram spot. And I'm very, if I see it, I usually respond. I try to engage with everybody. I don't blow people off. Yeah. So I'm on Instagram more first, then everything else is like second. Say I'm in jail and stuff. I'm limited. Yeah. Jerks. Seriously.
Chef, I appreciate you taking the time to sit with me and speak with me.
Yeah, time well
You know,
spent. Yeah, for real.
it was a good conversation, and I definitely love your insight. And I'll be definitely praying for you on
Thank
your
you.
new venture with the restaurant. Hopefully, it you go through with it, um, and your partners, follow through with it as well. But thank you so much for taking the time.
Absolutely. And I think next time, pretty soon, I'm gonna see if I can have it out by the end of this month. But I'm writing. I'm doing a book for all ages, a children's book. I'm gonna see if I can get that out in a few weeks. I got the script and stuff written for it, and I'm doing some changes. But I want to have something for myself, and I would love nothing more to write a bunch of books. So
No, definitely. As soon as that's done, let us know, and I'd be more than happy to buy one. So thank you.
yeah, hey, I appreciate that, man. Thank you.